Does your mind ever wander during a Sunday service? Have you ever been caught looking around during the pastor's opening prayer? On a warm Sunday morning in 1865, Elvina Hall's mind was doing some wandering. Pastor Schrick was praying a mighty long prayer, and she began to think. Of course, it was all good thoughts. Thoughts about salvation and the price Jesus paid on the cross.
How horrible for mankind to put the Son of God on a cross and crucify him. He was beaten, spit upon, and mocked. They put a crown of thorns on his head, nails in his hands, and a sword in his side. So unjust, so cruel. Yet Jesus allowed all of it because he loved the sinner. He wanted to save them. Right before Christ died, he shouted, "It is finished," tetelestai. The Greek word means paid in full.
Words filled Elvina's mind, and she just had to write them down. So she grabbed her hymn book and began to write on a blank page. Perhaps the words came all at once, or perhaps she continued to work on them throughout the sermon. All we know is that Elvina gave her pastor the beautiful words to her poem, "Jesus Paid It All," when she walked out of church that very morning.
As Pastor Schrick read the poetic words, he remembered that his organist, John Grape, had given him a hymn melody just the week before, a hymn melody that needed words. Pastor Schrick stepped into his study, and sure enough, Elvina's poem and John Grape's words fit together perfectly. Coincidence? Perhaps not. Sounds like God wanted us to enjoy this beautiful hymn.
Elvina Hall was 45 at the time she wrote the words to this hymn. She and her husband Richard attended the Monument Street Methodist Church in Baltimore, Maryland for over 40 years. John T. Grape, the composer of the tune, was a successful coal merchant in Baltimore, and he played the organ, directed the choir, and taught Sunday school at the church. When Elvina's first husband died, she married a Methodist pastor, Thomas Meyer. She was 79 when she died in the year 1899.
Jesus Paid It All is an expression of gratefulness to our Savior for his great sacrifice for us. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16. The price is paid. Jesus paid it all.
I hear the Savior say, "Thy strength indeed is small. Child of weakness, watch and pray. Find in me thine all in all. Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow.
For nothing good have I, whereby thy grace to claim. I'll wash my garments white in the blood of Calvary's Lamb. And now complete in him, my robe, his righteousness, close sheltered neath his side, I am divinely blessed.
Lord, now indeed I find thy power and thine alone can change the leper's spots and melt the heart of stone. Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow.
When from my dying bed my ransomed soul shall rise, Jesus died my soul to save, shall rend the vaulted skies. Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow.
And when before the throne I stand in him complete, I'll lay my trophies down, all down at Jesus' feet.
Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow.